3 reasons why it will be more and more difficult to own your own home. The dream of owning your own home. It sounds so nice. However, every day it is more and more difficult to achieve, and it is increasingly difficult for young people and families to stop renting or emancipate themselves. In today's video, we are going to see why it is becoming more and more difficult to achieve the dream of home ownership, what the reasons are, and who is behind this great manipulation of the real estate market. Reason number 1, real estate prices have skyrocketed. Since the pandemic began, prices have been increasing by almost 35%. In states like Florida and Texas, prices have even tripled or quadrupled. The idea of buying a home in the United States is unattainable. Reason number 2, high demand. Faced with cash offers they can't match, and fierce competition on every home they visit, many buyers are getting out of the market, opting to wait and reevaluate their options. That pushed home prices to a record high, with some homes attracting multiple cash offers, and others selling for $1 million above list price. Reason number 3. Not enough homes to buy, competition and high prices are no incentive for those who can't compete. According to a recent report by the National Association of Realtors, sales are down due to a drop in inventory, but affordability is pushing some buyers out of the market. Home buyers qualify for a mortgage based on their income, but with prices rising 20% or more, they are priced out of the market and pushed into renting. It's true, buying a home is not impossible. Many people are doing it. But more people have tried, and still haven't been able to. And there are limits to how much time and emotional energy they are willing to invest until they are pushed out of the market. Many times, homes are sold even before they can make an offer. Buying options are: get something that needs fixing up in an area they don't want to live in, wait for a new home to be built and pay a premium amount for it, or buy something over their budget. Then, eventually buyers decide to rent for a while they wait for the real estate market to turn around. Getting a rental is not easy either. The most annoying twist in all of this is having to rent a house on which a purchase offer was previously made. It is humiliating to have to rent it after wanting to buy it. But what's worse than that? To discover that the owner is a hedge fund and belongs to a faceless company. Behind this dream, more and more difficult to realize every day, hides a large organization in charge of manipulating the real estate market to profit from the dreams of thousands of people, profiting from their needs. Are you liking the video? Do you want to know who is behind all this? Keep watching and don't forget to like, click on the little bell below and subscribe. Who is responsible for all this? They are a group of companies on Wall Street, in complicity with the government. BlackRock is the largest and most powerful company in the world. It is the shareholder company, bigger than all the banks in the United States, and all the social networking companies, and media companies. It is on the stock exchange. BlackRock is so big, it manages over $10 trillion in assets. This is equivalent to almost half of the entire US economy, and almost 12% of the entire world economy. It manages the world's largest investment funds. Its clients are pension funds, insurance companies, banks and other governments. Because it manages so much money, it has become the company that owns all the most powerful companies in the world, and there are many, many people, companies and governments that are against it. It has proven to be a ruthless and opportunistic company that makes money by taking advantage of economic crises, inflation, and its political relationships. In the year 2008, during the Great Recession, it was the company that profited the most from the economic collapse, but also from the subsequent recovery. It was involved in the housing bubble, which led us into the Great Recession, and when the bubble burst, BlackRock's boss, Larry Fink, was the one to take advantage of it. The head of BlackRock, Larry Fink, used his political connections to orchestrate the economic recovery, which meant the printing of millions of dollars, which was used to stimulate the economy. Much of that money ended up in Black's hands to buy shares of other companies, affected by the crisis at rock-bottom prices. This was the beginning of the Great Black Empire. Since the great economic crisis of 2008, Black and many others on Wall Street began to invest in real estate. After the great collapse of the real estate bubble, house prices were at rock bottom. There were millions of homes for sale, and many were completely empty. When the US government decided to stimulate the economy by printing money and lowering central bank interest rates, BlackRock and many other companies began aggressively buying houses. They knew the economy was going to recover, especially if their boss was in charge of orchestrating that stimulus. They decided to buy these homes to be resold or rented, and they were right. Home prices in the US went up and up. Why were prices going up so much? Because the economy was growing thanks to government stimulus, and almost every central bank in the world was having central bank interest rates at 0%. With interest rates so low, all other debts also had low interest rates, especially if you bought real estate and put it up as collateral. The interest you would pay for 30 years when you bought a house was trending down. Buying a house, renting it and then reselling, it was a great deal. So investing in real estate for Black and the other investment firms on Wall Street was extremely lucrative. This was something new on Wall Street. Firms like Black preferred to invest in office buildings, shopping malls and other real estate, but when they realized how lucrative this was, they started buying residential homes. That created a big problem in the real estate market, because families who wanted to buy were competing with offers from giant companies that had access to information, appraisers and many other resources that helped them determine which house was a good buy and which was not. So Black could make an immediate offer, unlike a family who normally has to wait until the bank approves their mortgage. So Black always had the upper hand. Another big problem is that real estate prices were and are determined by supply and demand. And since BlackRock and all the other companies were buying houses so they could profit from them, the demand for houses skyrocketed, driving prices up. In the year 2021, of all the houses that were sold, 20% were bought by companies like BlackRock and the bankers, who have no problem overpaying for a house, driving prices even higher, artificially. What homes does Black buy? Large or luxury homes are not normally rented, because families who can afford to live in these types of homes have enough money to buy them and not be renting. The houses that are normally rented are houses in more humble areas, or small houses for the middle class. Families and individuals who rent houses are looking for smaller, more affordable, middle-class houses. Therefore, companies like BlackRock try to buy these types of houses in order to find tenants. By focusing on these types of cases, demand has skyrocketed in recent years. As a result, prices are going up even more. For a middle-class family, it is impossible to compete with Black. If prices are already rising steadily, BlackRock is making the situation worse by trying to buy them. BlackRock's price manipulation has caused the demand for these types of homes in the United States to rise exponentially. It has been shown that they purposely manipulate prices to their advantage. They buy large percentages of available homes in strategic neighborhoods. They then rent these homes on a long-term basis to lower the supply of homes for sale in that area, since they own them. This results in few houses available for sale and high demand. Then the prices go up exaggeratedly, and this is something they profit a lot from, because the higher the prices of the houses, the higher the values of the houses they own. This is terrible for the middle and working classes, as it makes it impossible for them to be able to buy a house with such high prices, and with competition like Black. If BlackRock is buying all the houses that sell, you have to build more houses. This is not so easy. There is a huge shortage of new homes because of little construction. This is related to building laws, why politicians don't want to give building permits. Guess who is friends with those politicians? Yes, you guessed it, BlackRock and the other companies on Wall Street, who don't want real estate prices to go down. Black has so much access to the government that they can prevent laws from being legislated that are not in their favor. No one in the world is exempt from the manipulation of large corporations. We are all going to be affected in the long run if this continues. The manipulation of real estate will fundamentally affect the working middle class. The goal of big companies like BlackRock is to buy up all the homes they can rent and profit from the middle class. Have you subscribed yet? Turn on the little bell now, so you don't miss all the information we share daily. Below are 2 recommended videos. Thanks for watching.